Unit 4, Listening 1, page 130. Dreams. I hate going to bed at night because I often have bad dreams. Therefore, I did some research about dreams. I learned that there are some common dreams for people and that these dreams have meanings. In this essay, I will explain what I learned from my research. The most common type of dream is being chased. You are walking somewhere and notice a stranger behind you, so you start to run. Sometimes your legs won't move fast enough. Researchers explain the reason for this. You are in a difficult situation. Soon you will need to make a decision and you don't know what to do. A second type is about school. You dream that you have a test, but you cannot find your classroom. Finally, you arrive late for the test. The teacher gives you the test, but you are not prepared for it and cannot finish on time. The reason for this type of dream is that you are not prepared for something in your life. Another reason is that you are in a wrong position in your life. For example, you are a salesman, but you are not good at selling things. Another example is that you are the leader of a group, but you don't really want to be a leader. The third common type of dream is about being nude. In this dream, you are wearing no clothes, and there are people around you. The reason for this type of dream is similar to the dreams about school. Researchers say that in your real life, you are not prepared for something. For example, you have to give a speech in your class. You are afraid of making a mistake because people will laugh at you. The research helped me because now I can try to understand situations in my life. Also, this information could help other people understand their dreams too.
Unit 4, Listening 2, page 142. The crime. Some criminals committed a crime in our city recently. Some people think that some young people did it. They tell me that it happened late at night, so it was probably some teenagers. However, I believe that someone who was older did it. They left no clues, so they were probably professionals. I read an article about the crime. From the article, I found out that the criminals stole a lot of money. The police noticed that they entered the building with a key. This means that someone who worked there probably did it. I also learned that the police have a suspect. I hope that they solve this crime soon.
Unit 4, Listening 3, page 145. Traveling to exotic places. Most people enjoy traveling to exotic places. When they go, they expect to see something unique. If they fail to meet unusual people, they may feel disappointed. After they finish visiting a new country, they often tell their friends about their experiences. Usually, their friends appreciate learning about new places to visit. However, If the place sounds too uncomfortable, their friends may pretend to want to travel there, but they will probably avoid going there in the future. It is interesting that travelers wish to have new experiences, but at the same time they might want to have the usual conveniences of home. For example, if they visit a place that has no electricity, they will learn to live without it. Nevertheless, they will probably miss watching TV. They may also dislike going to bed when the sun goes down. Some travelers may even refuse to stay more than one night and decide to go to a place that is not so exotic. Once, I stayed in a hotel that had no hot water. I agreed to do this because it seemed like a good experience. It was fun for a while, but after 3 days I stopped taking showers. The hotel owner promised to heat some water on his stove, but he forgot to do it. I kept reminding him. Finally, I quit reminding him. I decided to just put on more sweet-smelling cologne. Although it was difficult, I do not regret staying in that hotel. In fact, I recommend trying this sometime. I think everyone should consider doing something unusual on their vacation. On my next one, I plan to spend a week in a tent in a desert. I hope to learn how to stay comfortable even on an extremely hot day.
Unit 4, Listening for, page 149. Phrasal Verbs, Part 1. 1. Sarah was a single woman working for a computer company. One day, one of her co-workers, Dan, asked Sarah out. Since she didn't want to have a date with someone at work, she turned Dan down. However, Dan kept on asking her for a date. After a while, Dan finally stopped asking her. 2. Last week, I had the flu. Every time I ate something, I threw up. I was supposed to go on a camping trip, but decided to call off my plans. It took me almost a week for me to get over my sickness.
Unit 4, Listening 5, A Gift, First Draft, page 151. Last week, my friend Anne had her birthday. It was very difficult for me to find a present for her, so I asked my older sister for some advice. In this essay, I will explain what my sister suggested as a gift for Anne, who is very active. First, I told my sister that Anne is an active girl. She recommended that I take her someplace rather than buy her something. For example, I could take her roller skating. Second, I told her that Anne enjoyed music. Since Anne is active and likes music, my sister suggested that I take her to a dance club. Finally, I told her that Anne also loves nature. My sister then thought of the perfect idea. I could take Anne to a concert in the park. It is not easy to find a perfect gift for an active girl. However, my older sister did it.
A gift. Second draft. Page 152. Last week, my friend Anne had her birthday. It was very difficult for me to find a present for her, so I asked my older sister for some advice. In this essay, I will explain what my sister suggested as a gift for Anne, who is very active. First, I told my sister that Anne is energetic. She recommended that I take her someplace rather than buy her something. For example, I could take her roller skating. Second, I said that she enjoyed music. Since Anne is active and likes music, my sister suggested that I take her to a dance club. Finally, I explained to her that Anne also loves nature. My sister then thought of the perfect idea. I could take Anne to a concert in the park. It is not easy to find a perfect gift for someone who likes physical activity. However, my older sister did it.
Unit 4, Listening 5, continued. Organized or disorganized. First draft, page 153. Many students will have problems in college if they are not organized. In this essay, I will describe some types of problems that students can have if they are not organized. The first problem that students will have if they are not organized is that they won't finish all their assignments. It is easy for them to waste time on unnecessary tasks. Second, students who are not organized often lose things. They sometimes put an important paper or book someplace, and later they can't find it. Last, they miss appointments. They may forget to meet a teacher in her office or attend a meeting with other students because they are not organized. When I first came to college, I almost failed some of my courses because I was not organized. Fortunately, an advisor helped me understand what I should do, so now I am quite well organized.
Organized or disorganized. Second draft, page 154. Many students will have problems in college if they are not organized. In this essay, I will describe some types of problems that students can have if they are not good time managers. The first problem that students will have if they do not manage their time well is that they won't finish all their assignments. It is easy for them to waste time on unnecessary tasks. Second, students who are disorganized often lose things. They sometimes put an important paper or book someplace, and later they can't find it. Last, they miss appointments. They may forget to meet a teacher in her office or attend a meeting with other students because they do not prepare a schedule. When I first came to college, I almost failed some of my courses because I couldn't keep things in order. Fortunately, an advisor helped me understand what I should do, so now I am quite well organized.
Unit 4, Listening 6, page 161. Introverts or extroverts. Personality types are an interesting area in the study of psychology. Psychologists can put people into two groups. These are extroverts and introverts. This essay will describe these two types of personalities. Extroverts are the first type. About 75% of people are extroverts. Extroverts get energy from talking to people and doing activities with people. For example, some extroverts will leave a party at 2 a.m. and have energy to go to another one after that. Extroverts feel lonely when they are not around people. They like to be in large groups and prefer to work with other people. They enjoy talking about their experiences and will tell their opinion quickly. The second type is the introvert. About 25% of the population are introverts. They like working quietly alone, reading, playing individual sports, or doing things with only a few other people. Perhaps they enjoy spending time with other people, but they lose energy quickly. A friend of mine, who is an introvert, usually leaves parties after only 1 hour. Surprisingly, some introverts feel lonely at a party. In conclusion, we can have friends who are extroverts and introverts. However, we should understand their different personalities. Our extroverted friends will probably want to spend a lot of time with us. Our introverted friends will probably want more quiet time.
Unit 5, Listening 1, page 175. A favorite season, second draft. In March, someone asked me about my favorite season. At that time, I was tired of winter, so I told her that I love summer. I will explain the reasons why I like summer best. The first reason why I like summer best is because I like to sweat. When it is extremely hot outside, I sweat a lot. I think that this is good for my health. Sweat takes bad chemicals out of our bodies, and I believe that that is important. Second, I love to eat outside. I think food tastes better when I eat outdoors. Also, I can drop food or spill a drink on the ground, and I don't have to worry about it. The most important reason is that I love night sounds. I enjoy opening my window, going to bed, and listening to crickets and frogs. I can fall asleep peacefully. In addition, I like to hear thunder and rain at night in summer. Summer is definitely my favorite season. It's great for my physical and mental health.
Unit 5, Listening 2, page 184. Adjective and preposition. 1. My 10-year-old sister is good at skiing. My mother is worried about her, but lets her do it. Everyone hopes that she can be in the Olympics one day. 2. I hate flowers. I'm bored with working in gardens. Also, I have allergies from flower pollen. Because I'm bad at raising flowers, My mother told me to stay away from the garden. She knows that I'm terrible at it. 3. Steve was driving his car last night. Suddenly, another car cut in front of him. Steve became angry at the driver and honked his horn. In a few minutes, they both stopped at a red light, and Steve realized that the other driver was his uncle. He felt ashamed of honking his horn. Later, his uncle said that he was sorry about cutting in front of Steve. 4. Sarah and Jan were tired of their jobs, so they decided to go to Hawaii for a vacation. They were excited about relaxing on a beach. However, they were surprised at the high prices for plane tickets. 5. Lee was interested in history, so his teacher invited him to join a school trip which was going to China. Lee was glad about the chance to visit that country. He is afraid of flying on planes, but he will go on the trip anyway because China is famous for its long history. 6. Bob always dreamed of becoming a doctor, but in high school and college he was slow at math and science. Doctors must be good at those subjects, so Bob gave up his plan. At first he was sad about it, but he decided to become a salesman, and he is very good at that job.
Unit 5, Listening 3, page 189. Common problems. 1. Each worker was late. 2. Everybody is busy right now. 3. Almost all the planes were late. 4. Most accidents can be prevented. 5. Your dessert looks different from mine. 6. We are supposed to leave at noon. Remember, supposed has a D at the end. 7. His tattoo is the same as that basketball player's. 8. The first runner finished 5 minutes ago. The second one finished 1 minute later. We are still waiting for the next one. 9. We will probably go home before the last one reaches the finish line.
Unit 5, Listening 4, page 194. Phrasal Verbs, Part 2. 1. Sam's boss gave him a project and told him to finish it in 2 weeks. Unfortunately, Sam put off the project for 12 days. With 2 days left, he started to panic. He had a lot of problems, but he didn't give up. He almost finished the project, but then he found a big mistake in it. Therefore, he had to do it over. He didn't sleep for 36 hours so he could finish on time. 2. Sam's boss looked at the project. It was so bad that he blew up. He started yelling at Sam and almost fired him. At home, Sam told his wife what had happened. She tried to cheer Sam up. She also said that he needed to show up for work early to prove to his boss that he was a serious worker.
Unit 5, Listening 5, page 198. A teacher-student conference for gaining weight. In sentence 2, there is a problem with a word form near the end of the sentence. In sentence 3, you need to add a word. In sentence 4, you have a spelling mistake. In sentence 5, the form of the word after a preposition is wrong. In sentence 7, you need to add a word. In sentence 8, there is a verb form mistake. Sentence 9 is not a complete sentence. In sentence 10, apples are not fast food. Take out apples and write in an example of a fast food. In sentence 11, there is a spelling mistake. In sentence 12, there are two mistakes. First, in the middle of the sentence, you can take out a word. Second, there is a word form mistake after avoid. In sentence 14, there is a word form mistake. In sentence 15, there is a word form mistake. In sentence 17, there is a problem with the verb. In sentence 18, there is a word form mistake after the preposition. In sentence 20, you need to add a verb. In sentence 21, add an article before the word same. In sentence 23, you need to add a verb. In sentence 25, a number of hours is too general. Tell how many hours that we should stay in bed. In sentence 26, there is a word form mistake. In sentence 27, there is a verb form mistake. In sentence 28, you need to add a period.
Unit 5, Listening 6, page 204. Life as a professional basketball player. Many children dream of becoming professional athletes. Some want to be soccer players, ice skaters, or tennis players. I wanted to be a professional basketball player. There are 3 reasons why I wanted to become one. The first reason is that pro basketball players fly on team airplanes. This means that they don't have to wait in lines at an airport. Also, they don't have to go through security checks. On the airplane, they have large seats, and the seats go back. Flight attendants serve them large meals, not just peanuts. For dessert, they get fresh chocolate chip cookies and ice cream bars. Second, they don't have to carry their suitcases. When their plane arrives, they don't have to wait to get their luggage. Someone else takes it from the airport and delivers it to their hotel room. The third reason is that they have a luxurious lifestyle. They stay in fancy hotels. Their rooms cost about $350 a night, but pro basketball players don't pay anything. Moreover, they can watch movies for free in their rooms. For meals, they can eat in first-class restaurants. They receive about $100 a day for food. I'm not very good at basketball, so I'll never become a professional. However, I still dream about their lifestyle.